Here are the picks of the day for January 24th. If you prefer receiving our picks directly in your mailbox, including bonus selections, just click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Now, let's dive into today's free NBA picks. In the upcoming Game 1 matchup between the Atlanta Hawks and the Golden State Warriors, the Hawks have been lighting up the scoreboard, ranking 6th in the NBA with an impressive average of 119.7 points per game. Even without their star player Trae Young, DeJounte Murray stepped up big time, dropping a whopping 35 points in the last game. Turning our attention to the Warriors, led by the dynamic duo of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, these guys are known for their deadly three-point shooting. The team averages 117.2 points per game, securing them as the league's 11th ranked scoring team. Now, when we dive into both teams' scoring and defensive stats, there's a clear trend pointing towards high-scoring games. Both the Hawks and the Warriors have shown a tendency to play at a fast pace and engage in high-scoring matchups. This sets the stage for an entertaining showdown where we can expect the scoreboard to light up. Considering all these factors, the smart pick for this game is the total points going over. The evidence from the team's performances, especially in their offensive capabilities and pace of play, strongly supports the likelihood of a high-scoring affair. Before we move on to our next selection, join us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as we're bringing you 4 to 5 exciting videos every week. Without further ado, let's get into the next pick. In Game 2, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder going head-to-head with the San Antonio Spurs. Now, the Thunder's offensive game is seriously impressive. They're rocking the third highest scoring average in the NBA at 121.5 points per game. That's no small feat. What's catching my eye is their performance against the spread, a stellar record of 28-13. Translation, they consistently outshine the expectations set by oddsmakers. Now, here's the juicy part. The Spurs, not exactly a defensive powerhouse, sitting at 25th in defensive rating. That's like an open invitation for the Thunder to capitalize on those defensive struggles. Let's talk about preferences in games. The Thunder excels when they're the favorites, winning nearly 78% of those matchups. On the flip side, the Spurs aren't exactly thriving as moneyline underdogs, only clinching victory in 12.5% of those situations. It's a bit of a tough spot for San Antonio. Digging into the numbers, the Spurs, despite recent offensive improvements, are averaging 112.8 points per game, placing them at 22nd in the league. Now, if the Thunder's defense steps up and takes advantage of the Spurs' offensive inconsistencies, we might be looking at a favorable point differential for the Thunder. Putting it all together, the smart play for Game 2 appears to be the Thunder not just winning but covering the spread. In the upcoming Game 3 clash between the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns, both teams are gearing up for an intense showdown. The Suns, known for their offensive firepower, are well aware of their defensive weaknesses. To address this, they might tweak their strategy, honing in on tightening their defense. If successful, this adjustment could limit the Mavericks' scoring opportunities, resulting in an overall lower score. On the offensive front, the Suns might shift their priorities. Rather than relying solely on their firepower, they could opt for a more controlled game. This involves smart shot clock management and efficient ball possession, leading to longer possessions and a more deliberate approach to scoring. Now, let's talk about the Mavericks. Despite having a defensive rating that doesn't rank too high, they have the potential to disrupt the Suns' offensive flow. Expect them to make strategic adjustments, capitalizing on the Suns' defensive vulnerabilities while simultaneously controlling the pace of the game. For the Mavericks, the key lies in prioritizing quality over quantity. If they focus on efficient shot selection and smart ball movement rather than going for a high-paced offense, it could result in fewer possessions and a concentration on high-quality scoring opportunities. Taking all this into account, the pick for Game 3 is leaning towards the total points going under. The reasoning here is that with both teams making strategic adjustments, the Suns tightening their defense and the Mavericks focusing on quality over quantity, it's likely to lead to a game with fewer explosive scoring moments. If you're tailing, be sure to let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you all in the next one.